Hello and welcome to another one of our Constitution videos. As we go through our Constitution, we're looking at a lot of the different things that we believe. Today specifically, we're going to be looking at what do we believe about worship music. Now, before we start to look at what we believe about worship music, we need to start to clarify what do we believe about worship. I read from John chapter 4 verse 23, and it reads, "But the hour is coming, and is now here, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." These short verses here, they emphasize how we are to worship God. And to clarify, the definition of worship is simply to show a strong sense of love and respect, and even more so, to ascribe worth to something. And from the Greek word for worship, proskuneo, we can understand that Christian worship is simply encounter God and praise him. So in other words, we recognize and acknowledge God's worth and greatness, and we respond accordingly by giving honor and glory to his name. In Exodus 20, verse 1 to 2, it says there, "I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me." We worship God alone. And to emphasize a little bit more, in Romans 12, verse 1 to 2, it says, "I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." A biblical concept of worship involves praising God and giving him glory with both our lives and our lips. Worship that pleases God is authentic, offered with clean hands and a pure heart. The worship is both a way of life and a conscious activity. So, when we gather on Sundays, it's to worship together. And this involves numerous things such as music, service, fellowship, prayer, and the proclamation of the word. Focusing in on the music part, there are many cases in the Bible where it describes music, where it describes singing, instruments of various different kinds as means of expression. If we look at Psalm 33, it says, "Shout for joy in the Lord, O you righteous. Praise befits the upright. Give thanks to the Lord with the lyre. Make melody to him with a harp of 10 strings. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully on the strings with loud shouts." And so it continues. Psalm 95 is very similar. It says, "O come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise." And so it continues. In these psalms we see shouting, praise, singing, bowing down, making a joyful noise, harps, lyres, and more. And in a similar way on a Sunday, the songs we sing are but one means by which we worship God. Some guiding principles. Firstly, it's important to view music in its proper place. It's a non-essential issue, which we don't need to be divided over. And so our approach to selecting songs for Sunday worship is twofold. First one being, the song lyrics are evaluated by the elders and decisions are made on a per-song basis. If a potential song contains words that are not God-honoring, biblically sound, or simply aren't true, it won't be used. And the second approach is, the songs are intended for those present to sing together unto God. Therefore, the melody should assist in this. Some songs just don't sing well. There is a lot of Christian music available these days, from psalms in the Bible to old hymns from centuries ago to modern productions. And we should all scrutinize what we listen to or sing. Therefore, in closing, I want to remind you of Philippians 4 verse 8. It says there, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. We are IBC Bonn, an international body of believers striving together to establish a gospel-centered community in Bonn by the increase of love for God, each other, and our neighbors.